discretion is advised. Time? Is it really that time again?
How about new? You crazy Dutch
Viewer
bastard?
discretion is advised.
We're gonna schedule one song only.
Killing spree.
Welcome back into the live edition of the FC Podcast, E3 edition, with Killer Gunny 132, Toast 7 and 1, Papa Big Dick, and we are right now bringing our special co-host because
we are waiting on Kaz.
Yeah, we're waiting on Kaz, but
we have to give him a minute.
We'll give him a minute. But first,
Well, can I give a GDX leaderboard update right now?
Yeah,
Just
go ahead.
guess what is number one at the moment.
I'm gonna
No, don't look. Just guess. Give me a guess.
like game or
Game. What is number one game
Destiny.
right now?
Destiny.
Nope.
What?
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Are you
Not
fucking
so.
serious?
Up at
Fuck Kingdom Hearts
92.
3.
Now, as far
Fuck
as
Kingdom Hearts
Followed
3.
by Grand Theft Auto 5 at 90, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag at 89, Elder Scrolls at 89 also, Drive Club also, and Last of Us at 87. What? Destiny isn't even fucking on here. Final
might not have
Fantasy
updated
Versus
yet.
13 is on here. Is the last one on here? I see Infamous.
PlayStation 4, by the way, just jumped up on the console ratings.
Oh my god.
Okay.
What a match, you guys. Like, I don't even see
Xbox
this.
One is back to having more positive sentiment than negative, though. And to desting.
You guys, that was. I don't even consider this fucking like a conference call. Like, I consider this a fucking match. Like, it's the end of the round, and Sony just delivered a sucker punch. What do you guys think?
They just delivered a bunch of swift punches to Microsoft's dick.
Oh my god.
I don't even know what else to fucking call that.
How do we even describe this? Like, it started out so slow.
Yeah, it started out
It was
real slow, and
agonizing.
then-
Yeah, I know. It started out so they started talking about PS3 games I don't really care about.
Again, like it's kind of a testimony to how dedicated to indie games the Sony franchise is.
Yeah, basically they started out. I have a rundown written down here. They started out with a couple PS3 games. Then they went in and they talked about Origins. Then they went into TV and shit for like a good 15-20 minutes.
And I
15,
wanted to
20
gouge
minutes,
my
yeah.
eyes out.
Yeah, they bored me. And then they started getting into video games, and they slowly got better. Then they got into their cross-platform games, like Watch Dogs, Elder Scrolls Online, Assassin's Creed.
Got a lot more in depth.
That new
into
Mad
it.
Max, and then they dropped the bomb, where they started talking about no use the games restrictions.
Oh god.
And he, the guy, I forget his name, the executive that was presenting this whole thing, he had this smirk on his face.
He was doing that laugh. He had this
And
I
the
just kicked you
laugh.
in the dick laugh.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh.
He knew the ratings went
They're
up,
not
went through the
hearing you.
fucking roof. Like-
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Are we audible?
I was assuming that we were audible.
Are we being heard? Well, it's going to be a 15-second delay, so.
Yeah.
Are we being heard right now?
Can anyone hear us?
Okay, well, then it must be a feedback problem. Alright,
Okay.
anyway.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, that was one of the most public, just...
That was the
yous.
most public kick in the dick I've ever seen.
Like,
that was fucking
literally
nuts.
just looking at your competition and just fucking them in the butt.
I didn't expect it. I
didn't.
expected them to just go ahead and play along and play status quo. I knew that they would have the upper hand if they did this, but I didn't think they were brazen enough to do it.
The PR for Xbox is probably ripping their fucking hair out. I mean, I can only imagine what Microsoft is doing.
You know, despite that development, though, I'm still torn.
We have another couple
But
days.
you were like the biggest proponent against that what Microsoft was doing. Now you have a console that literally is like, fuck that, and you're still on the fence?
I'm
That's
still on the
interesting.
fence.
Why is that?
Again,
They have tons of features on the PS4, none of which I care about. The extra features that come with the Xbox Ones are ones that I'm actually interested in. Like the extra features with fucking PS4 are of no interest to me. And they were talking about stuff like it was something new, like cross gaming chat. Oh, you mean like a fucking party? Are you fucking serious?
Again,
You're that late?
Sony's so behind on when
You're
it comes to
that late?
when it comes to multiplayer accessibility and everything like that.
It was stupid. It was like, I can't believe that you're that late. on
Again,
that.
that's why the Sony community isn't really, up to fucking par. It's
And like
so
everybody
shitty.
cheered, and I was like, I guess you're happy if you're a PlayStation fanboy because you're finally getting to, talk to your buddies. I think I got a message from Kaz. We can bring him in now. All right, he's ready. I'm gonna give him a call.
I want to hear what he has to say.
I personally, though, am still on the fence. And in terms, I wouldn't so much say that I was the biggest person against everything that was going there. In our, okay, since we have people listening here on the live stream, you guys get to learn a little secret that Urias learned the other night. I ham up and make my opinions a bit more extreme on the podcast than they tend to be. On the basis that if me and Gunny just sit here and agree with each other the whole time, it's a boring show. Trust me, it is. And so, of course, I did make a bigger stink in the Xbox One special than I really feel, on the grounds that I wanted to play devil's advocate.
Well, then what's your honest opinion on it?
You want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
None of the things that they are having with Xbox One right now totally affect me as an individual. So I don't really care. I can get along just fine with them imposing what they impose.
That's exactly how I feel about it.
Oh, we have an
One
audio
second.
problem.
And the audio problem should be fixed. Skype. It's Skype's problem. 1 second. Skype does this. There we go. Fun fact, if you're listening to stuff on headphones and then, and yeah, Bubba, we are taking calls, and you have headphones plugged in, you have to unplug them and plug them back in for Skype to register it. Sometimes you have to do it like 8 times.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
good
we're
now.
good.
But yeah, that's exactly how I feel about, like, there's a lot of restrictions, and I understand why a lot of people won't buy the Xbox, but none of the restrictions really affect me at all.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm on the fence because Sony brought a couple exclusive things, but they didn't bring anything I cared about. They brought fucking Kingdom Hearts 3, which I was like, whoopee, big fucking whoops.
Oh my god.
Dumbest series ever.
I loved it when I was like 11, 13,
Yeah, it was fun when you were
14,
9.
But I feel like it's so late. Like Kingdom Hearts 3. I saw like, oh, Kingdom Hearts 1.5, the remake. I saw a poster of it. And then 3 comes out and it's like,
I just want to know who the fuck
Wait.
got the idea
wait.
to take the Final Fantasy universe as a base and then introduce fucking Disney characters and have you swing a giant key around and thought that it was entertainment. Anyway.
Well, I mean, it's getting a lot of good press, so obviously a lot of people are interested.
Well, yeah, because that happens to do with the fact that fucking Kingdom Hearts cosplay is like the #1 in the nation. For some reason, despite the fact that they completely abandoned their fans and came up with 2 games that ended on a note where nobody even knew what was going on in the series, it remained one of the most popular things to date. Everybody's question is more of how did that happen?
I'm gonna go back to the PS3 because a couple of these things. I mean,
The
they
PS3 or the
they won
PS4?
E3 in my opinion.
Wait, 3 or 4? Which one?
4.
4.
Am I saying 3 again?
please,
I said
yeah,
3.
because-
I'm so used to saying it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
okay.
I think they won E3. I mean, they undercut.
They definitely won.
They won the
undercut
internet like
Microsoft
wholehardedly.
completely.
They
Well,
won
yeah,
the
they
fucking
undercut
internet.
Microsoft. That I will
They
give them.
that's $100 cheaper, and they don't have the DRM thing.
They basically said, fuck you, Microsoft, like, in public.
It was a swift kick to the nuts.
For me, the only thing about the PS3 that is alluring is the price tag.
The price
Yeah.
tag.
The features on the Xbox One I like a hell of a lot more. I just prefer the way in which the Xbox One is set up from what I've seen so far.
See, after that conference, it's making me think that I won't be able to just choose one this time around.
I'm gonna need
Yeah.
to sit down and crunch numbers.
I'm gonna make
Yeah.
a fucking like graph.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
for
gonna make
me,
some
though-
pie charts, graphs.
Yeah, I won't be able to get them both within even like the first 6 months. So basically,
Yeah.
it'll have to be a question of which one can I handle waiting like a year for.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
if it comes to terms of games, if I get the PS4, I could at least get another extra game that I'm waiting for the release in the fall.
Well,
fall season.
I'm looking
Um,
towards the future essentially, and I don't see anything on the PS4 that is an exclusive that I feel I need to own, and so it just completely goes back up into the air for me.
It's just that the games that I really am looking forward to, like stuff like Battlefield, Battlefront, stuff like that. The only one that's really Xbox One exclusive that really pushes the envelope for me is the Rise, I guess. Rise. What's up?
Titanfall is console
Titanfall.
Xbox
Titanfall.
exclusive.
Exactly.
Yeah, Titan. See, then
But
there's
Titanfall is
Titanfall.
also a PS.
I was
Two.
gonna name off the PlayStation exclusives just to get an idea of
Go
what's
ahead.
exclusive.
Go
do
ahead.
it.
Go ahead.
Last of Us, which was the survival, the first one they announced. Last
Yes.
of Us, Beyond Two Souls, Gran
Yes.
Turismo, The Order 1866,
Interested.
Killzone.
That was a
Very
little
interesting.
interesting.
Very.
Ki-
Yeah.
Killzone
Can we talk
Shadowfall.
about that for a second, or can we, or we'll just do
Let's
that
go ahead and
later
do
on?
order real
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
That
Drive.
interested me. I'll give
That
it that.
was. I thought they were gonna do something like what was it, Dishonored 2 or something like that. Like
I was looking
Yeah.
at it, trying to guess what it was the whole time, and I was
Yeah.
just like, "Is it this? No. Is it that? No."
it's, it definitely has my interest. Is it-
Drive Club is an exclusive.
Uh,
Infamous Second Son, The Dark
That looked
Sorcerer.
really cool.
Yeah,
yes,
that
it
did.
did. Like I'm surprised. Like they, I don't know what they did with the series. Looks so fucking different. What else?
The Dark Sorcerer,
Dark
Diablo
Sorcerer.
3,
Dark Sorcerer. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Diablo 3,
Has-
Final Fantasy versus 13,
Verse 13.
Final Fantasy 15, Kingdom Hearts 3.
The
And
Final
that's it.
Fantasy stuff and the Kingdom Hearts needs to die and burn in a hole.
Versus 13.
But-
I've been waiting for 8 years. I mean, that's the part of my childhood that hasn't.
For me, all the games that I'm interested in for the next 2 years are multi-platform releases.
Yeah. Same
Like,
here.
there's no exclusive on either side other than Titanfall that makes me kind of want to lean a certain way or the
Titan-
other.
Tit-
That's the only one that I'm really looking
But the
into
thing
that
is,
is an
Titanfall is
exclusive.
PC, so I mean, you know,
I don't want to play it on the PC, especially not a shooter
I
on
like
PC.
PC gaming, so I mean, I've
Okay,
gotten
Bishop
adjusted to it.
is Bubba
Uh,
Bishop is calling. He wants to come in as a caller. I'm gonna go ahead and do this the proper
ahead.
way though. He tried to just call me, which is not the proper procedure.
Anyone in the crowd, has anyone ever seen Iron Man 3 yet?
Yes.
Then you know where I'm going with Dark Sorcerer, then, don't you?
Okay. Now, I'm
Not
going to read
really.
off
Really?
the exclusive for the Xbox real quick.
Um,
There are far less, by the way.
Okay.
Rise, Son of Rome, Minecraft Xbox One Edition, or
Uh-huh.
360 or whatever you want to call it, Quantum Break,
Quantum Break.
and Halo 5.
Wait, see, then no, there where you go. Quantum Break, Titanfall, Halo 5. Those are the only exclusives
Titanfall's
that
not
really.
exclusive. It's on console.
It's a Microsoft exclusive.
Yeah.
That's right, okay.
And so, I mean, I could play it on the PC, but I'm not a PC gamer, especially not for FPS.
I mean, games like Last of Us, fuck, I can't think right now. What were the other PS4?
Okay, speaking now.
Infamous.
Wait, there's
Infamous,
Bubba.
Infamous, yeah.
Okay, now it's working.
Oh, there we are.
Hey, Bubba.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hello.
Oh yeah, Project Spark.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
shit.
thought I shagged that
Yeah,
one.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
See,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
thing
the
is,
one thing I've been seeing through all of E3 was that. That's
the
all it was.
only things that I'm seeing
Oh, yeah, Project Spark.
that are
I skipped it.
console specific.
Is Dead Rising Xbox exclusive?
I'm not
Multi-platform.
sure.
No, I think it's
okay, that was
I don't
multi-platform.
think so. I think my friend has it for PS3.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
okay.
Yeah, essentially, it's just the only side so far that has the exclusives that are kind of making me lean one way or the other is the Xbox. They have exclusives that I want to play. PS3 has tons of great
More.
exclusives, don't get me wrong, and they have
More.
more exclusives, and they've always had more exclusives as a company, but they don't have
But I-
anything that appeals to me, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole PlayStation Plus thing really is kind of like it's a bit of an envelope pusher, because I mean they have a shit ton of games available like for free if you're a PS Plus member.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So, Bubba, you wanted to call in. Why don't you go ahead and let us know what your intent in calling in was?
Just to say, hey, I actually haven't been watching E3. I've been in the car for the last 6 hours.
Yeah, you
so-
were on a
God.
camping trip.
You missed a fucking match.
Oh yeah, you missed the
Grudge match.
best.
It's
you missed,
it's a thriller in Manila down here. Like
you missed the best live dick punch ever.
man.
Oh, lovely.
Oh man.
It's history making. I mean,
Ah.
No, there'll be
Oh,
plenty of
oh.
YouTube videos.
yeah.
Not only that, everything
Yeah.
everything in the commentary that we've done so far, I found a way that I can take them from Livestream, put them on my computer. I'm going to edit out the huge breaks that we had during the conferences and clean these videos up, and
And
then
the little small
post them
chats.
on the FC YouTube page most likely, so people can come and listen to the
I have
commentaries.
nothing to
if they
do Wednesday.
want. Yeah, there you go. And you don't have a
Figured you
regular
would listen to
podcast
it.
this week either.
Yeah.
All we have is this
Oh.
week. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did my listener mail get through on time?
It did. We haven't touched
Oh.
listener mail yet. We're gonna do that at the end of the night, kind of thing, as a nice closing
Okay.
out.
Okay, I was like stressing out about that because I sent it in like I think an hour and a half after you guys actually started the live cast, and I was sitting here, no, what if they already did it?
Even if we got your listener mail late, I would make a fucking exception for you because you're our biggest fan.
Nice to know I'm left.
One plus I have to say, no Call of Duty Ghost whatsoever.
Yeah, no Call of Duty Ghost
That's-
mentioned at all.
Yeah,
That's an
I was
E3.
so-
None at
They had
all.
their private little thing
Pleasantly
like this
surprised.
the
Yeah,
weekend
that's
before
an
though.
E3
That felt like an
achievement.
Assassin's
But,
Chief.
yeah, it wasn't anywhere
Yeah.
near.
But yeah, just what I'm seeing so far, a lot of the stuff that I want is multi-platform. Xbox One is leaning, and then the other thing that the Xbox One has that I feel is way better is their integration so far with Twitch and their DVR system, and that's something that I'm really looking
Yeah,
forward
that's
into.
something that I'm really, really looking forward to.
Especially for putting in commentaries, because Gunna, you know this. I mean, I wanted to go into video game journalism for a tiny bit there, and I was looking
Yeah.
into it. And the best way to get a start there is to start a blog and make your own videos and put them on YouTube. And I'm thinking, you know what? Fuck it, we'll do it as a side project, and that just makes it all the more easier because I prefer to be a console gamer.
Yeah.
Well, you got one listener.
Yeah.
Toast, let's make a channel together with our Xbox Ones.
Dude, oh my god, if you get an Xbox One and I get an Xbox One, we'll have Xbox One babies and do that. I'm dead serious.
I'm totally serious too. That'd be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys have
God.
fun with that. I'm just sitting here broke as hell.
Really though, like
Well, I have to find some way to pull all this off this upcoming year.
See, I just have extra scholarship money, and so I'm just gonna, scholarship / loan /
And right there,
government grant money.
Bonil brings up a good point. 300,000 new servers for Microsoft sways me a little. That's another thing right there.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
What did he say?
People like to point out like the
300,000
possibility of servers
more
going
new
down.
servers.
They're adding a lot of power behind their system.
Yeah, and here's the other question. The larger games for multiplayer, was that an Xbox One thing or a multi-platform thing? Has Sony commented on that at all?
Sony didn't really seem to comment on it.
Yeah, and that's what makes me curious
Comment
because
on what?
larger
180,
multiplayer
180,
games.
180, 180.
Yeah. Again.
They haven't commented on it.
Or on,
Xbox
like,
made a big point about it.
Dedicated
The
servers.
closest they came was the fucking party chat.
Yeah, they said, "Ooh, we have party chat," and it's like, big fucking whoop, you're late.
But I mean-
You're like 10 years late.
You're so late on that
Oh
one.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So far, I think I'm leaning towards Xbox One. I'm gonna do more reading and stuff, but I think that's where I'm leaning.
There's definitely a lot
Sunset
more.
Overdrive.
Oh yeah, and Sunset Overdrive, is that an exclusive?
Yeah, I believe.
No.
It's not?
No,
I don't think it was announced as exclusive.
No, it's,
Okay.
it's on both.
It's
Oh,
on both.
okay,
It's on that would never sign exclusive with Microsoft.
That's what I was
Sony
thinking.
would
like,
not allow that
oh my
ever.
god.
But I am very happy to have Insomniac kind of get their foot in the door with
Yeah.
Microsoft, though.
As am I.
Yeah,
That's
that's
nice to
nice.
see.
It was-
They
it
get
was nice
Bungie.
to see
They
them.
get to taste Bungie. We get to taste Insomniac.
yeah.
But the other thing that I'm curious with is that game very much seems multiplayer prone. A lot of the games have great multiplayer from what I'm seeing in the games that I want.
Oh yeah.
And I've always felt that Microsoft had a better online experience than
It definitely
PlayStation.
does. Like it definitely has a lot better person-to-person compatibility thing. Sony is again just catching up with party chat.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. And then,
I-
of course, there's the whole incident where Sony, had the hacking and basically half of their users had their crap stolen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never heard of that
And
happening
then
with
PlayStation
Microsoft.
got
Never
down for
happened
24
with Microsoft.
days.
but I'm
Yeah,
sure they
never
picked it
happened
up.
with Microsoft. So.
Sony again in the beginning you could tell they were heavy with the indie games, as
Yeah.
Sony usually
They
is.
were really heavy with the indie games, and that's
Really
cool and
fucking
all,
heavy.
but I
I
don't
think
know.
their whole focus on indie games and stuff really sort of overinflated like their exclusives count, you know?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
that's what we thought in the first
well,
place.
Yeah.
literally 2/3 of their conference was loaded with bullshit features that are way behind or can't compete with the Xbox One, and then indie games, and then Japanese people that you were trying to discern what they were saying. That was like 2/3 of the conference.
Yeah.
He seems so sincere though. Like
No, he
it
was totally sincere. I loved him as
like,
an
I loved him,
individual.
but
It
he
was
just-
almost cute.
It
Yeah.
was cute, but just like I wish you guys had money for a translator. Don't make him do this. Come on, it's embarrassing him.
And then they come out in the last third and they start talking about just doing straight dick kicks to Microsoft with the
my
used game
God.
market.
Bullet
And
after
Yeah.
bullet
it
after
was just
bullet.
Seriously,
one
I'm
blow
reading
after
stuff, and there's a
another.
guy on here predicting that we might see PS2 levels of dominance again because how swaying
There-
the
there's a
market.
I don't know
possibility.
if we'll
Yeah.
see
There's a heavy
PS2 level of
possibility.
dominance. I don't know about
See,
that one.
I could like see that happening, not because of actual like objective differences in the consoles themselves, but just because Sony packaged their product a lot better.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, and I hate to say it, but the thing that's also going to make Sony an incredibly big name is the fact that they finally released Kingdom Hearts 3, and that they're doing more
They
shit
timed
with
this all
fucking...
perfectly.
And that they're
Their
doing more
timing
shit
was
with
awesome.
Final Fantasy, and they finally released 13 Verses. Or Versus
And
13,
also,
rather.
what they nabbed is they nabbed a lot of exclusive little things for the
They
for the
did.
multi-platformers.
Yeah.
I think Microsoft only had like one game that did that. And
But the
Sony
thing
had all
is,
the
though,
other
at
ones.
least for me, I saw it as super gimmicky. Like, when they were talking about Watch Dogs, they were like, you get, like, a whole hour of gameplay. Dude, I shit hours of gameplay, okay?
Yeah,
Don't tell me
that's
that you're
probably
giving me
like a
an
side
hour.
missions, and then
new
you got an
outfit.
extra hour.
Yeah, and
And
a new
outfit for a character we don't really even fucking know yet.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like, I
Fantastic.
guess that's cool, but it's not going to make me switch consoles.
You get a Sony T-shirt.
Yeah. Well, to end
In-game.
my call off, I gotta go get my dinner. Just got here, but
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna say one important thing.
Go ahead.
All this is all swell and dandy, and then there's people like me who are sitting here like, well, I'm keeping my 360 for 3 years because I'm broke as hell.
Again, one of the things persuading me to get the PS4, I mean, it is $100 cheaper.
It's $100 cheaper, but it comes with less good hardware, in my opinion.
Well, it's pretty much the same. I mean, the multiplayer is
I'm not, I'm not,
that
I'm not
really
talking
big game list
processor
again.
specs. I'm not
Oh,
talking
I might
processor
get
specs. I'm
both.
talking
the
fact,
multiplayer thing
huh?
is a.
You might get both.
I might.
Yeah, because you're rich enough to do
The
that.
thing is, I'm looking at this list.
I wish I had that money.
But before going in, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna buy the PS4 because the PS3 pissed me off too much, right?
Yeah.
I go in, and even toward the end, I was like, eh. And then they did that. I was like, I have to buy the console to say good job.
God.
Good job for doing that. That took
Oh my
balls.
God. No,
so
just
we're
like-
gonna go ahead and let Bubba take his leave here to go ahead and get his dinner. So here's your formal goodbye, Bubba. Goodbye.
Bye.
Plus Kingdom Hearts 3, I do want to play that.
Have you played 1 and 2?
Fuck
You
Kingdom
have.
Hearts 3.
It's just I want to finish my childhood, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it I.
But what
was
I want
also-
to, I lost those games. I want to
And no, but now,
They have 1.5
but
coming
Neil,
on
they
the
Sony did not
remake.
talk
Remake?
about motion
Okay,
things at
I'll
all.
get that
HD.
then. I'll get that then.
Sony did not talk about motion things
They
at all.
talked about
I think
Because it's not big with them.
reacting to your expression or something, didn't they?
I
Do you want
heard
me to
about
tell
that.
you
I
the
heard
move isn't
rumors,
very
but
good.
again,
And the eye is
We
like
have
a
another
webcam.
2-3
I mean,
days.
Yeah, and no, and that's what I'm talking about. And the other thing is, people are very much looking at these as entertainment systems anymore. They're not just gaming consoles. Yeah. And what I found funny was that PlayStation was like trying to create their own multimedia department because of their affiliation with Sony, in the way that it was like, we're going to try to subvert things such as HBO Go and Netflix and make our own shit and try to make it seem like we have more for you.
Now,
yeah.
here's a question: is
They
the
totally just
PS4
took credit
backwards
for Sony
compatible?
motion pictures.
oh
Yeah,
shit.
I don't think they mentioned it.
They
Wait,
didn't mention it.
They've announced it before E3 that it's not backwards compatible.
yeah, so it's not backwards compatible.
Not surprising. Again,
Not, yeah, not
okay.
surprising.
but again, the PlayStation Plus has this thing where like you could drag the games from PS3 to PS4.
They have that?
That's what I'm assuming. Because I mean, they
No,
said
I think that's what that whole cloud.
That's what they meant when they
Thing
said
with
that
the
you get the
Kai.
cloud.
Because you
yeah,
install, because
and the
what
plus
the
with all of
PS3 is
them.
doing with the PS4,
You-
the
you
Xbox
share-
One's doing is going to do, where you have to install your games before you play them, and they're storing your hard drive. Can you transfer those games on your hard drive to the PS4?
again, I they didn't say
Linked
this word for
cloud
word.
storage between your PS3, your PS4, and your PS Vita. That's I think the purpose of that.
Why couldn't Microsoft do that?
Yeah.
Why couldn't?
Why couldn't Microsoft do that?
They could have. That's the thing.
could've.
I was not a
like
big
no,
fan
like
of
like
that.
that's compatible disc. I get like yeah, it's a hardware problem, but just transferring something over memory.
I think
yeah.
that's what they're gonna try to do with the whole like 2 free games per month.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Microsoft sort of flip flop a little bit after this.
I wouldn't
not
be
completely,
surprised.
not completely, because they look like bitches.
Not
But I think they'll back up a little bit.
Like I can see
'Cause
them
Steve
coming back
Ballmer
tomorrow,
has
like
an
roll
ego.
the fucking.
Yeah.
All right, you
so
guys want to
much.
play games? You guys want to play a fucking game?
Kind of
I'll bring
like
out the big
I
guns.
very much see it possible that we're going to be able to get our stored data and our stored games from our 360s onto our Xbox Ones now. Especially since they mentioned that, I see it being something that they're going to bring to the table because that's an easy fix. And
Yeah.
it doesn't make you look like a bitch if you do it.
Yeah.
They'll look like a complete bitch if they go back on their whole used games thing, though.
I
They're
will
going to
tell
lose so
them
much
this.
face.
Xbox scored with getting Metal Gear Solid and Insomniac to do
Oh god.
what they did. So that's good. That's good for them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they definitely did. Getting both of
Oh,
those
yeah,
onto the
Metal
Xbox
Gear.
was great.
And then Titanfall.
No,
looks like
no.
No,
Metal
it was
Gear is
a-
a multi-platform.
It was originally
Oh, is
reported
it?
as an exclusive, but that was a misreport.
bad press.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been huge. That would have
Oh
been a
my
kick in
god,
the
that would have
balls.
been a game changer.
Yeah.
No, but Titanfall is an awesome new exclusive. Like I think
Titan-
I'm looking at. I'm thinking that's the best exclusive that I see right now, as of right now.
To be honest,
Quantum Break looks cool, but I don't know enough about it.
To be honest, I think
Yeah.
Completely.
I would name Titanfall as the sleeper hit of E3. To be
Sleeper.
honest.
Oh well,
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
okay.
Because I mean, really, like all the other games, like you expect good things from Metal Gear, you expect good things from Destiny, all this, but like no one knew what Titanfall was, and the moment the name came up, you kind of judged like, oh well, it looks like a nice game, and then the fucking
Yeah.
gameplay comes out, like
I also think, what is it, the directive or
the fuck, I forgot the name, the Division.
Division. Okay, I was
I-
like,
I
what are you
think
guys talking
that's-
about?
I mean, if like if the interest that was piqued in me
Mhm.
at E3 can transfer into like the gameplay, I think it'll do really well.
The Division
Yeah,
is
exactly.
multi-platform also, right?
Yeah, it is.
God
I think
damn.
I think so.
Yeah,
God
and it's,
damn.
that's the thing. Like, so many of the really, really good ones for me are multi-platform. So I have to find some small thing or a culmination of small things to make my decision. And so far, it looks Xbox One.
The multiplayer for I'm really looking forward to like the multiplayer for all these fucking games. Battlefield for the community for Xbox One for the Xbox community is just it sounds amazing.
The other thing that I think
Like,
is
I-
I'm also going to monitor before I make my decision. I'm going to monitor where the rest of the online community goes. Because if Xbox
Shit.
Live loses a good majority of its online community, there's no point in me sticking with Microsoft. Because those
Yeah.
online features aren't going to do much good. Even though I'm essentially letting other people's decisions alter mine, it's kind of a necessity because they are the, community, so to speak.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at earlier with like how people's
Okay.
friends' decisions will
Thank
affect
you,
the consoles.
John. He actually, there was a quick correction because we said Final Fantasy 13 or Versus 13 and Final Fantasy 15. Versus 13 is being renamed Final Fantasy 15.
There's
Oh,
a
okay.
wait,
They're
there's
the,
a
they're
14?
the same game.
There was a 14.
Yeah, there was a 14.
Was it MMO?
No,
Was
it
it
was
actual?
on. It was on the consoles.
No, I mean like was it like those like was it like Final Fantasy 12 or where it's kind of like MMO?
I don't know. I didn't
linear
fucking
story?
play it. I stopped Final Fantasy a long time
Final
ago.
Fantasy 14.
Is MMO, wasn't it? Like an online kind of game.
Pull up Wikipedia. It was
Because of it, I don't
released-
really give a shit.
When was it released?
2011.
2011, yeah.
Okay,
Was
yeah,
it
that,
just done on
that
the
was
PC?
the online
Okay.
play. That one didn't matter.
Ah.
Verse 13, I've had my friend had the poster since we were in 7th fucking grade. We found that at the anime convention when we were like fucking 13, and that was 6-7 years ago. My childhood is coming back to haunt me. I feel like I need to close it. I need to close that door in my life.
Fuck Kingdom
And
Hearts.
just
I'm serious. That actually might be my most hated series that other people love.
Call of Duty.
Kingdom Hearts might actually be past Call of Duty.
Really?
I've hated it since my childhood.
Ooh.
Like, it is a long-standing hate. Because even when I was a
Look at
kid, even when I was a kid, I was literally sitting there and I was like, you run around and hit people with a key with fucking Disney characters. What the fuck?
Believe me, it took like years after the second one came out for like one of my friends to convince me to give the first game a try.
Really?
And because the whole time I was just like, no, it's stupid. It's I don't really care about Disney, and I don't really care about Final Fantasy. But I was very, very surprised to find how much I liked it once I played it.
I did play it, and I didn't enjoy it.
I don't know. It's just so stuck in my childhood. I'll see more gameplay and see how it goes.
Blackhawk is claiming, I wasn't totally sure. I was going off of Gunny's information that apparently they never said Kingdom Hearts was an exclusive.
Who said it was?
So.
Or did you guys say it was?
And Final Fantasy has also been going to the Xbox, so I'm sure it'll come to Xbox in due time. So
Yeah, 13
these
was
might not
on
even be
Xbox
exclusives. He's gonna go and fact check right now. By the way, there was a cool image that Gutty found, and it was talking about the shape and the design of the PS4, and it said shaped like an eraser to erase the Xbox One from people's memory.
I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna go on Reddit right now. I want to see how the
Oh,
people react
man.
to this. Like,
The one platform it's listed for is PlayStation 4.
what is?
Nope, so
Kingdom
far
Hearts
it's
3.
only
Kingdom
listed
Hearts
for
or Final
PlayStation
Fantasy?
4.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
But they never, I remember because I was paying attention, they never specifically stated that they were exclusives.
Yeah. Maybe it'll
Yeah.
come out on it first.
Yeah,
Final
it
Fantasy
might be
15.
something that'll come out later. I don't
You
know.
know,
I find it hard to believe that a Kingdom Hearts game will be on a platform other than a Sony, though.
Especially the
I don't know.
second Final
It's
Fantasy.
getting a lot of attention. I mean,
Yeah.
people
I find it
fucking
hard
love
to
this.
believe that they wouldn't specifically call out every exclusive they possibly can.
Yeah.
Square Enix
And
has
that's
been,
one that they're going to draw attention with, and so it would be kind of a bad move to not secure that as an exclusive.
Square Enix has been
Yeah.
alongside Sony for the long
yeah,
run. You know,
yeah.
I mean,
They're one of those companies that is always stuck by Sony's side.
So has Insomniac.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Again,
I would have to say though that Square Enix is almost bigger than Insomniac. In
If
a way,
not-
though, in
It
terms of
is.
in terms of their partnership,
It's
especially
big-
with Sony,
Yeah,
I would
it's
say they're
closer.
way
It's
bigger.
definitely a lot closer to Sony.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, both are Japanese for one.
I see Insomniac as being similar to the kind of the way that Bungie was with Microsoft, where they started with them, they got locked in with them, and it was kind of their thing for a while, but they never intended to just stick to one.
Yeah, it was an open relationship.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
And I always see Square Enix as a lot more of just kind of like Sony's my baby and I'm his baby and we just gonna make babies with our babies.
Like our future YouTube.
Yeah, our future YouTube. We're gonna make Xbox One babies. Oh god.
Um,
And the fact that we can literally be on mic and commentate the whole thing, like, there we go.
I know.
Like, there we go. It's taking out all the hassle of actually having to put it to your computer and then do it from there. You can just do it straight on your Xbox and then export the file.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gotti would know how much of a hassle that is because he refuses to stream anything.
Well,
And he refuses to set up his
capture
fucking
card,
capture card. That's the thing.
Because I want to
Yeah.
do it with HDMI. I don't
And
wanna
so
use
many times, like, he's
component.
sitting there and like we'll be playing something together, split screen. He's like, because when we play, we make commentary and a bunch of other stuff that's just fucking hilarious, at least in our opinion. And a lot of times we're just sitting there and we're like, why don't we record these playthroughs? Because people would eat this shit up. This is fucking hilarious. And then I'm
You won't
like,
set up your goddamn
no, and then I'm
capture
like,
card.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, all right, well, let's set up the capture card and do it. And he's like, that sounds like work. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And he's like, I don't want you messing with the cords in my room. And I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
what's-
right here. This article is saying Final Fantasy 15 just PS3.
Okay, Final
PS4.
Fantasy 15 just for PS4, according to an article that Gunny is looking at.
Okay. Just
The
a
other
quick-
thing
oh.
that I'd like to point out in terms of the ramifications for our community, Halo is most likely going to stick a Microsoft thing.
Yeah,
Which
definitely.
means
yeah.
that it's going to be on the
That's a
Xbox
for
One.
sure.
Which means
343 is a Microsoft company.
I know,
owned
which
by
means
Microsoft,
that
yeah.
well, I know, and I'm just saying, and that means that our community, of course, is going to be based on the Xbox One with Halo 5 and everything. And one of the implications, that alone also kind of sways me because I enjoy being a part of this.
Yeah. it's a
But
good
the other
community.
thing that I find very, very interesting is I've always found that what we have a lack of is we have a lack of a machinima department, essentially.
Yes.
And having the Twitch, the DVR, the ability to edit, and the ability to overlay your audio to it straight from your Xbox would make doing something like that so much easier. Especially, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say it again. We're revamping the RP. Definitely see if you can join in if that's your guys' style. We're doing a beta right now. We're setting it up. I can definitely see the RP and the LARP department essentially also taking over like a branch with machinima for our site because it would just be so much easier and we'd be able to have so much more access to it that we could literally start making machinima based on the lore. And not only would that be entertaining, but if say it were to be done good enough, the Xbox or the YouTube revenue could also go to the site, which could then go towards more stuff for its people, and it could be great publicity. Just saying.
That was like also a knee to the balls to Microsoft.
Which one was?
This is how you share your games on PS4. Step 1, sharing the game. Hand it to your friend.
Fuck!
Oh god. And yeah, Silka, we're down to 5 parts. I'm probably going to be able to consolidate this and edit out all the long music tracks and all that. I essentially, the way that I did it, it was easier on us, at least for this first part, to just kind of record these and just kind of let them happen and save onto Livestream. I'm going to go ahead and take them from Livestream, edit them, clean them up a bit before I put them onto YouTube as to store in our, essentially our database.
Oh wow! Thanks Kotaku for taking my fucking idea.
What?
They posted a picture of the Thriller in Manila and said, "Sony just smacked the Xbox One in the mouth." My joke first, you fuckers. No, but really though, like, I mean, whew. What's tomorrow actually?
Tomorrow's Tuesday.
I mean,
tomorrow, like what's going on?
Tomorrow,
PlayStation 1 is having
the
their own
show
little
floor
thing.
opens, and then Nintendo's
PlayStation
having
1.
their stream, and then
They're also having a PS1 extended thing tomorrow. as well.
PS1.
Or PS1, wow, PS4. Damn.
And then something else. I don't care though. It's not important.
Yeah. Tomorrow's Nintendo, a bit more PS4 in the floor.
Nintendo's not even at E3. They're doing like a private.
Yeah, they're doing a private showing. It just happens to coincide with E3.
this is gonna be one of those most monumental.
So why don't you go ahead and take a look at
history
the
as of now.
Why don't you go ahead and take a look at the decks so far and
Where are the
see what
decks?
we're looking
The
at.
G decks.
Yeah, the
Again,
G-decks.
stats
I
are pretty
realize
much
it
the
doesn't
same.
refresh unless I go re-Google it. So.
Yeah.
Stats are pretty much the same as far as I see.
Yeah.
92%,
People are still reeling.
or not 92%, but just 92.
What are we looking at? We are looking at calculating G decks.
Kingdom Hearts 3 still 92.
Yeah.
GTA 5
Yeah.
90.
GTA
Followed by
5,
Assassin's Creed.
Black Flag, and then Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
That was the other one. Is they originally were almost implying that was going to be an exclusive, and for me that was almost a deal breaker. And then they said that it was essentially just the fact that PlayStation 4 customers were able to be part of the beta.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well if it's just the beta, then I don't need to like fucking choose the console over it.
Yeah.
Drive Club, I'm surprised is getting so much good press. I mean,
Which is
It was an
Drive
open world
Club.
driving
Oh, yeah.
game with the map, yeah.
well, I think Drive Club is getting pressed because it comes with the PS4.
you think so?
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
didn't
if
know that.
if
Yeah,
you
if
get
you,
the-
if
you
you order
get
it
the
right
Plus
now,
account.
it comes free with
Interesting.
PS4.
Yeah, if you pre-order their thing, I think it's pre-order and also having a Plus account. It has there's
Yeah.
some way to do it. It comes with your PS4.
It looks nice. I mean, having that come with a thing like it
This was the E3 of fucking racing games. I don't even understand
It's
why we had that many
satisfying.
racing games. There was just cars everywhere,
the chase was nice.
and vehicles were something that I felt was lacking from the Destiny gameplay. But
What did?
whatever.
Vehicles.
I want to see if that's going to be integrated at all, because from what I've seen so far,
They had the
not
speeder
really.
bike things. I think
De-
it's going to be.
Destiny
It's-
is
I haven't
such a
seen it yet, and
heavy
I want to see it.
Destiny is such a heavy combination of Halo and fucking
Yeah,
Borderlands.
it's like Borderlands and Halo had
Yeah.
a baby. Even watching that gameplay especially cemented it. I was like, this is fucking Borderlands, but with a bigger landscape, much more open world, and sci-fi.
Can we just give a little appreciation to fucking graphics, like the depth perception, the
Depth perception was
light.
nice. The lighting
You
was
know,
very
the-
nice.
the
Yeah, the
atmosphere,
render
it's-
distance was also incredibly
It's
nice.
just I feel so immersed just looking
Yeah,
at the fucking
the
gameplay.
dynamic
like,
lighting was crazy.
It,
Yeah,
it,
it really
was. I mean,
was.
I felt so fucking immersed into it. Like I could. I
People
could see
didn't
for
know how to-
fucking miles.
People didn't know how to aim though. That was
Yeah.
like
Oh,
sad. I was
yeah.
like, do you
They
not know
probably
how to
have-
fire a gun?
They're probably on like 6 sensitivity too.
Yeah, and then Eli was like, his
That makes me
sensitivity
sad.
must be too high, and I'm like, dude, I play on 10, and
Yeah,
I
I
have
play
the
on 8 and
sensitivity
9,
of 10,
that-
and I can still aim better than that. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
But the pistol again, the pistol was definitely a
Yeah,
Bungie heavy.
that was a Bungie pistol for sure. OP pistol.
Oh my god, the movement of the movement of the enemies though, it's so beautiful. Like it's so fluid and just
Yeah, their movement in general is very fluid.
it's
I
really
enjoyed it.
nice. You know, like I'm happy to be a gamer at this point in time.
I love how the like the evil spider tank was called like the Devil Walker or something.
Was
Yeah,
what
it was
called?
something like that.
Nice.
It was a very appropriate name.
Yeah.
It looked fun to like just dismantle it. I mean, it looks
Yeah.
like everything Borderlands had going for it, and then fucking upped to the 19th level,
Yeah.
mixed with like Halo again, upped to the 19th level.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for one, the introduction of the other players, the way they just teleport in is pretty fucking cool.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's something that I think we saw.
The way that the public event just like had everybody teleport.
Yes!
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that
That
was
was
that's
crazy.
something that I think we're seeing a
That
lot
was
more.
really
We've seen that
impressive.
with tons of titles today, where they're just integrating multiplayer straight into your just regular campaign experience.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's great. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It feels so much more like, you know, you're actually part of something.
Yeah.
Oh man, oh my god, that kind
All right, so this fall I'll be getting one of the consoles. I'll be getting Battlefield. I'll be getting GTA 5,
God,
and then
What do you
I
think-
want to know if I have more money before I make more decisions.
what do you think are the possibilities you might switch pre-orders?
What do you mean switch pre-orders?
Like, are you cemented on Xbox One for sure?
I'm
or-
not cemented for sure.
I think you
need
can
to
change
do-
that anyway, can't you?
Yeah, you can change it.
I mean, the probability, like, how on the fence are you?
Essentially, for me, the features that I've seen intrigue me more. The exclusives intrigue me more. The only question that I need to see is whether or not the community is going to stay. I don't mean the FC community. I mean just the Microsoft online community, because that's what's always set it apart from Sony. And if that leaves and ditches us for Sony, then I really have no choice, because I can't stay with Microsoft because it's going to be a dead online experience.
I know, I have to say,
And
like,
with all of this online integration with these new games, I don't want a dead online experience.
yeah, I have to say, like, the demographic shift it sounds imminent.
I'm really hoping it's not. I'm really hoping that it's still polarized and it's just
I
kind of
think
50-50.
it'll be- I think there will be a shift, but as long as it's not at like the extent of, you know, the
Like,
Halo community
yeah.
leaving for Call of Duty.
Oh my god. I mean,
Well, yeah.
I'm happy because I mean the Sony community, like for lack of a better word, is just kind of slacking off. I mean, there's really nothing as vital as like the Microsoft community had going for it. So to see like at least a little boost in the Sony community would be
Yeah,
nice to see.
I'm hoping for like a nice, pretty even 50-50 spread.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Definitely
Uh,
fine with that.
even because like right now, I'd probably say Xbox is probably like 70-30.
Uh huh.
Um, so
Yeah,
it
that
would still
sounds
be
right.
a big drop, but it would definitely still be manageable and playable.
And as far as like the Halo community goes, I mean the loyal players are gonna be loyal players. They're gonna stick with a Halo community. I don't see a problem with that happening at all. You know.
Yeah.
Again, it's with all the other games that are being sold on consoles. That's where the heavy demographic shift is gonna be, and I'm gonna monitor that with a close eye. Like, I want good things to happen to Sony. It's just like PS3 has been really a rough patch for them, and it'd be nice to see something going well for it. I'm seeing this picture on Reddit. That's pretty much like in summation. Xbox One is bold and PS4 is italics. And I think I'm just gonna, instead of mixing it up like PS1 and Xbox 4, I'm just gonna call it bold and italic from now on.
This was the bold and italic E3.
Yeah, the bold and italic.
I don't know if any of you guys noticed it, but in the Killzone trailer, they totally had a hard light shield, Promethean vision, and an auto sentry.
Yeah,
That
I saw
Promethean
that.
vision-
I so saw that.
Oh my god, that was totally OP. Like it looked like
Yeah,
overkill.
except their shield you could shoot through.
Yeah.
I was like,
super
Looked like a
yeah,
riot
I was
shield.
like, what is the, like they put it up and I'm like, oh, that's a pretty cool shield, and then he starts firing through it and I'm like, what? Are you kidding
You
me?
can see through fucking walls. Like it looks. Hopefully the
Don't tell me you put that into multiplayer, because I would just rage quit.
Oh my god! I mean, even Killzone looks really fucking nice.
Killzone looks good, but the thing
Killzone
is,
3
Killzone has always been mediocre
yeah,
in terms
Killzone
of
3 didn't really
FPS.
sell for me. This one, the building, like
Well, the thing is, like, I don't feel that I need tons of FPSs at once, and considering that Halo 4 is still going to be around, I'm going to get Battlefield, and then I have
Battlefront.
and then
also,
I have Battlefront, and then Titan. I'm just like, I already have FPS overload, and considering that Killzone is always mediocre, I'm not super hyped up for it. I've got
Me-
enough FPS action.
honestly, like, I don't know how the next E4 is gonna compare or E3 is gonna compare to this. Like, what do you think?
It'll be interesting. I'll put
like,
it that way.
It all. I really believe it all depends on how the next few days are gonna play out. Like
Yeah.
what the population or what the popularity thing is gonna be with them. E3 next year is just looking so confusing.
Well, E3 will be interesting next year because
man.
essentially what you're going to have is more people buying the consoles. Well, I mean, not more people, but you're going to have people purchasing the consoles in because the price will have dropped on both of them. And so considering that hardware is pretty much already out of the way, you're going to need to have these companies sway people by essentially releasing exclusive titles and big names. And so all of next E3, it's not going to be hardware at all. It's going to be announcing, here are games that if you haven't bought this console, here's the reason to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And Halo 5 is going to be part of that.
You know what I just noticed?
Huh.
It seems like this conference has just been entirely nostalgia.
There was a lot of nostalgia.
No, think about it. Like, think about like the like for one the look of Xbox One and PS4. It's definitely a homage to, like the older gaming platforms.
I always feel like I'm
like
looking at a
PS2.
Betamax.
Yeah, exactly. And not just that, but like your fucking childhood is coming back now. Like we have games like Rayman coming back, Kingdom Hearts 3, the whole Final Fantasy thing coming back. We were seeing a lot of remakes of like older games from our childhood,
Yeah.
just making a
Unfortunately, a
reappearance.
lot of those games are ones that even in my childhood I wanted to die. So
It
Something about the Sony press conference that really just shows how much better they are at PR is that they've pretty much slid in the middle of all like the fuck you Microsoft. The fact
yeah.
that online multiplayer on the PS4 will now require PlayStation Plus.
Which
Like,
is
they
less
totally-
than $5 a month, I think.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They totally like slid that in there like perfect.
Well, $5 a month, that's $60. That's the same that you're paying for Xbox.
It's less than
Live.
5, so it's less than the total Xbox cost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't. I'm not guessing maybe $55.
probably
Yeah.
50 or 55.
And even
Yeah.
then, you don't really need PS Plus in the first place.
You do to play online now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, that's exactly.
Okay.
See, that's the exact thing. They slipped
Yeah.
that in, like
Oh, well,
very,
fuck.
very like slyly. They were just like, yeah, and then you're gonna do that, and you're gonna need it for playing. But here's all these other things that it does. Like you can match your Vita with your PS3 and your PS4, and everything will be interconnected. Aren't you guys happy? Because I'm happy. It's like, did you say something about needing to pay for multiplayer? And it's like, moving on.
Wait, you guys are cheering too loud to see that you have to now pay for multiplayer.
Yeah.
Wait, what is that about multiplayer? Oh, did you say Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah. Totally
It seems like
derail
that.
everything.
But I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, or Xbox 360.
Xbox
360
is that.
users
And
have been
it's
doing
cheaper
that
than
for
the
years.
360.
I mean,
According to Silco's question, he's wondering if we're quieter. According to what I'm getting here, it is not quieter.
are we?
I'm looking at it right here. I can look at the decibel rating, and we're still pushing exactly where we were earlier.
I'm
I
pretty
have it
loud.
right under the point where it's going to start getting deafening.
I'm pumped up, so I'm pretty loud right now.
Like
Sorry, Silco. Don't know what to say.
now.
Try refreshing the page.
Yeah, something.
Nintendo, I'm looking forward to you hopefully releasing a Metroid and the more in. More
I've
into,
heard they're
like,
gonna
the-
release it in Super Smash Brothers.
No,
Uh,
I'm not happy with
I
that
wouldn't be surprised at all.
because the
And then,
fucking most recent one was shit.
And then also earlier, like way earlier when we first started, we were talking about possibly a new Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion 2, and
Yeah.
of course Pokemon X and Y,
Yeah, and Pikmin.
and Pikmin. Yeah,
Yeah,
oh
they're
my
finally
god,
releasing a
And
Pikmin
probably
sequel.
a new Mario somewhere.
There's always a new
There's
Mario.
always.
There's always a
Yeah.
new Mario.
that's a Call of Duty of the fucking
It was the
Nintendo.
original Call of Duty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my
I still
god.
love Mario 64.
Well, yeah. Again,
Mario
consistency.
64.
You don't want to be
Mario
disappointed.
64
Get the
was
Wii.
the shit. I can't play it anymore though because I've beaten it too many goddamn
Yeah.
times. I've beaten it too many times both on that and on the original DS. So
Oh yeah, they had the DS version that
Yeah.
came out a couple years ago.
a couple
The-
years ago, a
the-
while
oh, yeah.
ago, my
Well,
friend.
on the original
The 3DS. 3DS.
Yeah, they had like a
They had a
anniversary edition
re-release
or
for the
something.
3DS
I think
because they had a regular release for the DS.
I think there's another release for the 3DS.
Like an
Oh, man.
anniversary edition or something.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. It got bigger. It got 20% bigger. I don't know. They do that a lot.
Feedback apparently saw a Halo 5 screen cap of Cloaked Master Chief with the caption Juan 117. Call of Juarez, Halo.
Oh man.
Call of Juan.
Call of Juan.
I
Oh man.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm not even mad that they didn't mention anything about Valve. No Half-Life 3.
There, I already have enough on my plate that I
Yeah,
don't
that's
need
what
the
I'm
Valve.
saying,
I don't need the Valve game to play. I'm just sad that it's not here yet. It's just more of a personal matter.
I don't believe I've ever been so torn on a game decision ever before.
Yeah,
I
I've
mean,
never been this
this is-
torn between two different things.
They really stepped their game up.
They
both
did.
have so much. to
PlayStation
offer.
brought a game that I didn't expect. Not, and I just mean like their A game.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't expect them to come out that hard and that well.
Wow, there's a lot of people who didn't like Borderlands. Apparently, I'm just reading stuff, and people are
Really?
saying Destiny looks like Borderlands if it was made by a competent developer.
I love Borderlands 1 and 2. I love
Borderlands,
Maybe it's
Borderlands
the-
is good. The problem with Borderlands is there's hardly any character or story development for the most part. It lacks, at least Borderlands 1. I have
Yeah,
yet to play
it's like what I
Borderlands
wanted
Same with
2.
Borderlands
Borderlands
2.
to
There's
be.
no character development. Just
Yeah, it's just
lots
it's
of
just-
gunning, lots of running around shooting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like we saw cinematics in that Destiny demo thing. Like it looks like they have a legit story thing.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it's gonna be pretty cool.
The integration. Oh my god, I can't get over how smooth the integration for everything is. Like the added player and everything. The way the fucking enemies move. The public events and everything. It's so just fluid, and like it's like water.
That the fluidity of the Xbox One is actually another point that's kind of keeping me holding on. To,
Yeah.
Yeah.
To that side of the fence.
Uh-huh.
The whole like, just the whole like you can switch games whenever, like since you don't use the disc.
Yeah,
you
that
switch
is
to
definitely a
any
heavy game changer.
You can switch to a movie while you wait for your matchmaking to connect
Yeah.
or something if you're playing like an outdated game that doesn't have a very large population.
Yeah.
Definitely. And it's little things like that. For me, I think what it is the Xbox One has more little features that I find to be more useful and more modern.
And more applicable to people that love commentary or love
Yeah, and
things
that's
like
the other
that,
part. I think, you know what, I haven't totally decided yet, but I think I'm 95% sure I'm probably gonna go with the Xbox One.
Well, I mean, don't
I
forget.
may get a PS4 sometime down the line if I ever get money and they release something that I need to get the PS4 for.
I don't know. Again, Sony's tomorrow again, also, right? Or
Yeah. So they may bring
It's
something
more an
else new.
extension.
Yeah.
maybe what I'm expecting is like they did a little mixture of entertainment and games. What I'm expecting more is like a little more hardware tomorrow.
I think it wasn't even so much hardware. I think they even kind of said, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because part of the beginning I was totally zoning out of the Sony conference.
Yeah.
But when they announced it, I could have sworn that what they were talking about is they were going to go more in depth with their indie community and a bit more with the games that they've already talked about, kind of thing, to just give you a better look at them.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Not a surprise.
So,
Alright, so,
Kaz, I think you should lean towards the Xbox One, and so should I, and we're just going to make Xbox One babies.
Yes.
Like, I like that idea.
I'm about 80-20 towards the Xbox One, I think.
Yeah, that's about where I am. Maybe a little bit more for me, even.
Alright, so do we want to jump into listener mail?
We pretty much have to get into listener mail now. I think we've talked this image to death, or this point to death, and listener mail is pretty much all that remains for us to
We
do.
have 7 pieces of listener mail, 2 from the same person.
And one of those is actually the 2 from the same person is actually relatively short.
Okay.
Because they the rest of it was directed to us individually and not.
Oh yeah, they didn't want
Public.
to be read on there.
Yeah.
I'm
really-
gonna be right back. I got a tip call.
Okay, he'll be right back. So why don't we just go ahead and open this real quick? I'll open Adrian's.
Alright, then I'll read tenor that person's.
I'm gonna go ahead and take my leave then.
Okay.
Aww,
Okay,
Kaz.
Kaz.
Okay, that's fine.
My girlfriend's been on the verge of killing me for like 2 hours.
I completely understand that one. I've been doing this for the past couple days, and I have a couple other family arrangements instead of tending to my girlfriend who just had all of her wisdom teeth removed. So
Ooh,
I
had to
understand
deal
that
with
one.
I had to deal with that like a month ago.
You get my pain.
Alright, well, it was a fun live stream.
Definitely
Hopefully
was.
we had a decent amount of viewers.
We kind of fluctuated between, especially the Microsoft ones where we peaked, and I think that's just because of what our community is based on.
Yeah, definitely.
But yes, Kaz, thanks for coming up. We enjoyed having you, very, very much so. Thank you very much.
No
yes,
problem.
yes. Thank you for coming on and stuff.
So yeah, we will talk to you later, Kaz.
Yeah.
See ya. Oh, man.
All right, so now that Kaz is gone,
I'm not gonna get sleep tonight.
unfortunately.
I'm gonna go to sleep thinking about this.
We're gonna
It's
go
rip my
ahead.
hair out.
Oh, and Kaz said bye, Papa Big Dick.
Oh, sorry. I was out, but yeah, see ya.
All right,
fuck.
so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go into listener mail then. And well, last episode, Adrian had brought up in his listener mail, what was it? Was it butt snakes? Was it
Yes,
trouser snakes?
yeah.
No, butt serpents. There we go. And he actually sent us this crudely drawn image. I'm gonna go ahead and actually put this image up on the live stream, so you guys go ahead and talk real quick while I save this and add it in. That means you, Eli.
Okay, I gotta get back.
Eli. Are you not listening?
I was listening. I didn't know you were talking to me.
I said your name. Cassidy has to walk away. I'm downloading something real quick. Talk about something cool.
I don't know. I'm like half sort of asleep.
We've been at this for about
Yeah.
Quite a while now.
12 hours.
Quite a
12
while
hours.
now.
Fuck.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add this.
Hey Cassie,
picture
can
now.
you fix my bed since?
I'll try if I have time. I'll try.
Save the pussy button around for later.
Where's my life before this?
That is the image. All right, so and he says, "I will always love you." Anyway, and he goes, "I didn't do an intro to my listener mail. I just liked your intro, but I guess I'll have to do that from now on. You have to sing, Toast." And no, I'm not going to legitimately sing. Continues, "Hello, Evelyn, Toast, Daisy, who's Gunny, and Poppy, which is Papa Big Dick. T here with some crazy listener mail. I want to start off with explaining what a butt serpent, better known as an ass snake, is. A butt serpent can be found in all Norwegian forests. It usually weighs about 10 pounds, and when it's fully grown, it can get up to 7 feet long. If a human gets up close to one, it will jump in the anus and stay there for a couple weeks, unless you put a butt serpent repel in your pants, because then it will disintegrate instantly. The butt serpent does not have a normal head, instead a big butt placed where the head should be. The serpent smells, eats, and gives birth, listens, does everything with the butt. The butt serpent will go around making farting noises on a counter to alert you that it will penetrate your ass if you get closer. The butt serpent will also has a thing on its rear end that will rattle if it's alarmed. The thing is shaped like a tiny penis. I have never been penetrated by one of these serpents, but I have seen one having intercourse. It was disturbing. He then goes on to continue after that weird little blurb. Scroll. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it a blurb. And he goes, I really enjoyed the previous podcast and you discussed the weapon tweaks. I love the weapon tweaks because now there's actually some diversity on the battlefield. I was playing 4v4 Slayer Pro in matchmaking one day, and I was really surprised because people actually used other weapons in the DMR, which I adore. Using the carbine, P.S. I love the carbine rifle, was awesome, and I love the unexpected movement speed change. Because I really think you guys should keep how the show currently is, although a mini cast would be sweet. You guys are already working hard, but more work could possibly lower the quality of the podcast. If you guys already didn't cover this, I gotta say, despite being a phone/Windows 8 exclusive, Halo Spartan Assault looks pretty cool, but it is a negative thing. It only proves that 343 is/are evil, and they are milking the shit out of Halo and are ruining the franchise. I miss Bungie's touch on the games, and now I'm going to go cry in a corner and decapitate my limbs with a knife. What would you say about that so far? Just a quick little blurb on the Halo Spartan Assault.
Yeah, they're obviously trying to get more attention to Microsoft's products, like the Windows Phone, because the Windows Phone doesn't sell very well because no one buys it compared to the Android and the iPhone. But.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, then goes ahead and continues, writing this with my eyeballs as I have no hands anymore. I've got a question for you two, hopefully, and possibly three. Do any of you have Twitter? Gunny has a Twitter. I have a Twitter, but I don't use it. Yeah. Gunny only retweets sports stuff, so not really going to help you much. He also continues saying that he's sorry to say this because you're real awesome, but I forgot to say how disappointed I am of you, Toast. When you said that thing about Nicki Minaj freestyling was something respectable, I went crazy. How could you say such a thing? This is taken out of one of her shitty songs. This is one for the boys with the booming system, top-down AC with the coolant system. When he come up in the club, he be blazing up, got stacks on deck like he's saying up. Yes, and what I'd like to say is that you're picking out one particular rap, and although I will say that a lot of her stuff tends to do that because of the area that she's a part of, what I was talking about is the ability to formulate things on the spot like that and be able to improvise is something that I personally am able to look at. And he goes in all caps, Toast, these aren't rhymes, this is just an ugly, possibly silicone-breasted hag that repeated system and up in what that is supposed to be a freestyle, and if, in case you didn't know, freestyles are supposed to rhyme. Also, what she raps is utter complete bullshit. Even I can make Nicki Minaj music. And he says, everybody on the dance floor, everybody dance on the dance floor. My big ass is filled with stupid hoes. I'ma shoot all them hoes, bitches everywhere, men with big abs everywhere. And I gotta say, Adrian, although I understand the point you're trying to make, hers is way better. Then he says, $500 million album, why? I made a poem for you guys. I'll just make this to expand my mail. Gunny and his co-hosts, Gunny, Poppy, and Toast, they run an awesome podcast, a lot better than those from the past, Assumptions. Toast ranting about stuff, listener mail then makes us chuff, which apparently is supposed to mean laugh. This is the part where I declare my love for Poppy. Poppy, we love you. Those who dislike thee shall be vanished from the universe. You are the spice on the burrito meat, the graving on the meal, the cap on the jar. You are my inspiration for living. Without you in the podcast, I would behead myself quite fast. You are motherfucking awesome. We need you promise that you will be in all upcoming podcasts or I will choke a puppy.
As far as I know.
Peace, y'all. Dude, will there totally be more mails about stuff that I forgot? Promise you. Could you end with the song Pearl Jam, Dirty Frank? We will later on. Unfortunately, we won't this time. On the basis that we have instead other things to do. As in, I'm not going to prolong the, what do you call it? The live stream. There we go. That's the word for it. Alright, so go ahead, Eli. Go ahead and...
which one am I going to read?
Tanner Gordon.
Oh, that's not... I clicked search for some reason. Okay. Alright. I feel like we've read this before.
Let me take a look at it.
The beginning is like literally...
No, it's not.
Okay.
We have not read this before. Go ahead.
Okay. Gunny, you will never hear the what's entitled Blarg, death, fear me, exclamation point. And it says, Gunny, you will never hear the end of not playing second gen for me until you play it. I'm bummed that you won't be doing an AC segment, but it's understandable why you're not, and the Fallout one will make up for it. But as the new weapon update, I like it, and I feel that it will create more diversity in the weapons that people use and will bring more skill to the table. I completely destroyed when some tries played with some tries. I'm not sure what that means.
Tryhards.
Tryhards playing with something other than the DMR or BR. I like the saw buff, but I'm gonna miss riding around on the mongoose with the saw and taking out warthog gunners. This was one of my favorite ways to troll, but I guess I'll have to find something else. On somewhat of a side note, I fucking hate the bullshit. It's the worst weapon they added to the game, and it's fucking stupid. I agree. I like the randomization. I think they need to keep the reliable constant weapon spawns that is Halo Classic. Also, I miss the Halo 2 multiplayer. Yes, it's slow paced, but it's still hand down my favorite Halo game, and I really want 343 to bring it back to dual wielding to Halo.
I agree. I want dual wielding.
Oh, and fuck Call of Duty, they're cookie cutter pieces of shit. Also, goddamn you, Boa Bishop, you're trolling bastard. Props. It was beautiful done though. Beautifully done though.
It was, although it was just, oh man.
For the closing song, you should have Linguistics by Cunning Linguists.
Cunning Linguists.
Just realized I never realized my favorite Pokemon, so here they are: Alakazam, Shedinja, and then all the original evolutions plus Espeon. Please do live E3 coverage. That's what we're doing.
Well,
And Toast, you should definitely have a show where you talk about AC, because I ran the same issue that Gunny did, and I'd like to hear someone explain it all. Great shows always. Looking forward to the next one, Jumanji.
I think I'll just do an explanation and a commentary thing.
when are you gonna do it?
I don't know. I'll do it sometime.
That's
All right, the
weird,
next
man.
one comes from an anonymous person, just titled the FC listener, and he goes, something very important to me. And he says, after listening to podcast 11, there's something that I feel Toast and frankly most of FC needs to understand a little better. Context, Toast is speaking about random ordinances. People are like, the best team should always win, note mocking tone. And I'm like, yeah, but that gets boring really fast. I like some kind of variability where you can have that crazy upset. And he says, I've never disagreed so strongly with anything in all my life, not a hyperbole. Before I address the statement directly, let's get down to some truly fundamental principles here. Why do sports/games exist? Why are they universally enjoyed across all nations and cultures? Answer, competition. Basic evolution drives us, and all higher forms of life for that matter, to always want to know who the biggest, strongest, smartest, and fastest one of the group is. This basic instinct drives Halo multiplayer. The upset you were talking about in the ordnance discussion is a result of a handout, not a result of personal growth, discipline, sacrifice, or willpower. It's $20 that you found on the sidewalk, not a hard-earned paycheck. The type and degree of satisfaction in that example applies to Halo as well. While your team rallies together and pulls off that miracle upset fueled by nothing but your own skill and determination, that's something that you'll remember for years. It'll put a smile on your face every time you think about it. The memory of your lucky rocket spawn will be gone in a week, but it won't leave you with a story worth reminiscing about. Even worse, think about the other side of experience. As in Kazol's experience, he was very clearly remembers being robbed of a hard-earned win by a random event. He felt cheated, and he's absolutely right. To cheat the better players in the name of cheap thrills for the less skilled is a disgrace, and it's the reason the Halo 4 population is so low. He also then continues, quoting me, saying, the whole decreasing the skill gap thing doesn't bug me in the slightest. I think it makes the game better. And he goes, Toast, what you and 343 Industries are advocating is a shift in focus from competition to entertainment. This is a critical distinction and a huge mistake. The desire to be constantly entertained and constantly stimulated is, pardon the meme reference, a first world problem and not a basic human need. As such, it will never provide the same level of enjoyment, satisfaction, and in some cases, addiction. The only real rival to our competitive instincts, at least that can ethically be tapped for the purpose of an FPS, is our evolutionary need to belong to a community. Main point, Toast, what you and most of the smartphone generation are looking for is a quick, effortless shot of incineration cannon-induced dopamine. I strongly suggest that you seek out the much longer-lasting satisfaction that comes from teamwork and personal improvement in a competitive environment. If you don't want to do that in the context of Halo, then go play Action Sack and stop trying to kill the core principle and that makes Halo great, fair and friendly competition. The rest of it was a private correspondence. What I will say to this individual is, one, I want to know who you are, because I don't like anonymity. Two, if you don't want to, at least respond to me, because I do actually want to talk to you. And three, I'm going to go ahead and address this now. I said it earlier in the show, and this is... I felt the need to even bring this up after reading this listener mail. Again, the things that I say in the podcast are sometimes hammed up. In the sense that if, for example, take a look at that discussion if I were to completely agree with Kaz and Gunny the entire time. What do you think, Eddie? That would have been an incredibly one-sided discussion. It wouldn't have been a discussion. It would have just been an affirmation.
You and me differ on that point, but that's a conversation for different.
That's a conversation for them, and you feel free to differ. But the thing that I was saying is, and I understand where you're coming from in terms of essentially calling me part of the smartphone generation that's looking for an incineration cannon induced dopamine rush. I'm gonna say that I took a bit of offense to that on the grounds that I feel that you're extrapolating a lot more of my character than you could from just a discussion such as that. And I'm going to instead say that although I understand where you're coming from and why you're seeing that, I'm telling you that that is not what I'm looking for in terms of induced dopamine. Instead, what I was saying was, I can enjoy a random upset because I enjoy variability, and it's not because I just want to see explosions. It's because I'm the kind of person that lives every single day, calculating every single part, thinking 20 steps ahead of everything. And for me, that's one of the things that killed math and science for me, is the fact that it was predictable. Predictability has always been a scourge for my own personal character, and I apologize if I'm getting too personal on the podcast here. But for me, something that finally breaks predictability and that breaks the norm pattern has always fascinated me as an individual. And so the reason why I'm drawn towards random upsets and things like Halo is because you have that ability to introduce something like that that's completely off the wall, that doesn't always fit that set pattern. It makes things new every time. So that's my defense in terms of that. Take it or leave it. Yeah. Also, another thing that I'd like to address is in terms of the whole, getting that lucky rocket launcher at the end. I also say that under I think a different pretext than most people think about it. Most people think that that is a common occurrence. I don't see that as a common occurrence. I have never seen random ordnance or anything like that be a total game changer that happens more than 75% of the time. I see it as that one in every 25, 50 games thing. I have never seen it be a major problem. Could just be the games that I have played. But so there you go. Individual that is anonymous, I would like to talk to you, though. You are the kind of person that I would enjoy talking to. The person also said in a second mail before I let Gunny cover the next one, saying, Toast, I just wanted to point out that your feelings about the commercialization of art forms, music, video games, etc. is exactly how I feel about the casualization of Halo. It's taking something meaningful and watering it down just to make a quick buck. Also, I wanted to point out that as much as I love competition, it cannot not be used as a cover for the strong prey on the weak. And I probably shouldn't have read that part, so I'm not even going to continue with that sentence. I apologize for those listening who wanted to know what it said. The other thing that I'd like to point out is I'd also want to talk to this individual because I'm curious as to one of your points, because you were talking about human nature, human drive, and all that stuff in general, and I'd love to get your opinion on essentially something that's used in the same context as a plea against video games, and that is the fact that yes, it is that competitive drive and that seeking of satisfaction that drives us as individuals. And one of the major arguments out there right now against video games is that it gives our generation a false sense of satisfaction and a false sense of accomplishment, because they feel accomplished for doing these things in a virtual world without focusing on their real life or actually seeking satisfaction or accomplishment elsewhere. So I'd also like your input on that one, just considering that you brought up that point. Gunny, why don't you go ahead and hit the next one?
The next one is from Yeesus.
Yeah, sure.
It's entitled Yo. Hey guys, this is Yeesus as always. A solid podcast. I have a couple points I want to bring up from the other weeks. First of all, big middle finger to all of you listeners that Toast was going to rip my Mass Effect knowledge apart. Yeah, suck on that. Let's get back to being pals. Gunny, I do believe you should hit up Ass's Creed, see what I did there. I skipped Brotherhood and Revelations, Rella, who gives a shit, and went to number 3 because it takes place in my homeland, New England.
Before we continue, I just want to say I think we only have 2 people that are still listening to this live.
I saw that.
I love you guys. Whoever you are, I love you.
Anyway, right off the bat, you're in Boston. You head into a bar named the Green Dragon, an actual historic bar that, while admittedly its role in the American Revolution was largely exaggerated, it still has historic ties to that time period and even exists today. It is my favorite pub in Boston. I highly recommend going there if you're ever near the Garden. Great Irish food as well. On another note, I would like to hear your take on a certain sports topic. There are a lot to cover in the sports world, so please don't focus on topics that ESPN rape, such as Tim Tebow, feature in the New York Jets, and anything that has to do with the Miami Heat. Instead, here's a hockey question. Who do you think is winning it all? The remaining 4 teams that is my bumbling boisterous bumblebee colored bro. Don't eliminate the flawless birds. If you don't know hockey, then save me the rage and don't comment. With love, Yeesus. I don't know anything about hockey, so I'm not gonna comment. But
Yeesus, I love you, although I can't stand the fact that you skipped games in a series. It bugs me when people do that or when they start in the middle of a series. I'm the person that will go back to a game that started on the PS1 to start at the beginning of a franchise before I play the newer one, even if the stories aren't directly connected. So I guess I should go ahead and do the next one, Gunny. This one's coming from Bubba, saying, Dear Gunny and Toast and whoever else in the listener mail on the live cast, I'm seriously hoping it's not too late to send this in. I've been having problems getting on my computer last week and had issues with getting to send it. I've been cramming Panda Puffs down my throat so I can eat before typing. He says, I'd like to put this on the record, on air, that Gunny and Toast were not the target of my troll last week. They were just semi-innocent bystanders, but it was still funny as hell. Thank you for the moment of silence, though. I was surprised you value my letters so much. Continue, Toast, your cult only has 2 people. You need to write your chirp manuscript, please. I'll get to it. Don't fucking tell your god what to do. I own this. Anyway, continues, if you ever have me as a guest on the podcast, there's only one subject I will ever want to keep up with you guys on: how to destroy the United States. And I'm not kidding. Be warned. That's gonna get some
What's the
angry.
burn centers in the United States? Sony Entertainment is the burn center for Microsoft employees. Only 3
Oh my god.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
he continues, I meant nothing by putting Jew Manji. That's what his username on the FC word is spelt as, and yeah, I definitely need to start talking to him. Yeah, I actually noticed that. I thought you were originally just emphasizing, but even on the forums, Jew is in all capitalized. He continues, oh, and I agree with Toast. We are in 2013, and we have had backwards compatibility on previous consoles, so why don't we get this feature that all gamers like, fucking Microsoft? And I changed my stance on that after Kaz pointed something out, and that was the fact that requires extra hardware, and the modern consoles already sell at so much of a loss per console that adding the backwards compatible hardware would just further put them in debt. It's something that they can come out of, but it's still more of a gamble, and it's not worth it for their company. Anyway, he continues and he goes, no AC podcast? No, but there's a Fallout podcast in the works? Yes! Yeah, we'll have the Fallout podcast. I'm going to have an AC special that I'll put up eventually. He also continues, Gunny, I don't mean much with the whoa, what happened to my eyes? Anyway, Gunny, eye vision blurred. Gunny, I don't mean much with the derivative comments I direct at you. I know it's hard being someone with your condition. No Gen 2, no Indiana Jones, no sense of humor, no Assassin's Creed, etc. So it's understandable that you are disappointing.
Okay.
He requested some music. I'll get all these music requests in later podcasts. He continues, I know this one was kind of short, but it was Rush. Oh, and I thought you might like this, and it's a picture of Bubba's Bait and Tackle. Oh, man. That image is nice. You want to go ahead and do Rip Helix's?
Wow, those ones later than that?
Yep.
Random bullshit.
Random bullshit. That was sent at 9:53 this morning. 9:53 our time.
Don't know what the hell to talk about, but I didn't want to break my streak of sending you guys that awesome listener mail that you love oh so very much every week. Watching the E3 stuff, and half-assed listening to Pink Floyd playing on your live stream right now, but I figured why not get to know our awesome podcast and dive into our lovely souls. So what's your favorite candy? What's your favorite candy?
My favorite candy? Whatchamacallits. Okay, wait, are we talking like mainstream mass-produced candy, or can I go like on the gourmet level?
Just candy. Anything.
Okay, well then I'm gonna have to bring up the fucking gourmet shit, and I'm going to have to say really, really good high-quality Bordeaux. Yeah, that shit is good. But in terms of mass-produced whatchamacallits, those are the shit.
I haven't had those in such a long
Love
time.
those things.
Mass produced.
It's like Kit Kats and Reese's and Milky Way all had a baby.
all mixed
Yeah.
ethnicity, baby. Me. Fuck. I haven't had candy in a long time.
He was in the Philippines. We forgive him.
I haven't had American candy in a while. I remember it used to be sour in my younger days. Now it's the fucking what is it called? Those truffle things.
Truffles?
No, specifics.
Bonbons?
Specifics. The one I brought over here.
Oh, Lindor.
Lindor
Yeah,
truffles.
Lindor
Yeah,
truffles.
I fucking love
Yep,
those.
those
Those
are
are my
good.
favorite candies.
Gunny?
Definitely.
Candy?
I don't eat a lot of candy, so I don't really
Yeah,
have
he's
a
also
favorite
boring
one.
in that respect anyway. Go ahead and continue.
My two absolute favorites would have been Reese's and Snickers. What
Reese's,
about
yeah.
favorite movie?
Oh.
Don't do this.
Just,
to me.
I can't do that. Brain overload. Okay, I can't answer that question because you're going to have to give me a specific genre.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to give me the reason for I'm watching it. Am I watching it for, like, for example, the reason why I love Slaughterhouse 5 in terms of sci-fi is because of how in-depth of a philosophic movie and story it is. And then there are other ones in the sci-fi genre, like Star Wars, that I watch because it's an epic story that's just awesome.
Genre, era. Like,
There's, I have to compartmentalize.
I watch everything from the fucking 40s all the way to like last week.
Oh yeah, same here. So
that is not an easy question.
Eli,
You say Field of Dreams.
No.
Saving Private Ryan,
No.
Forrest Gump.
Gosh, no.
I love you, Jenny.
I mean, I love those movies, but those are such a cop out. I
Yeah.
feel.
Anyway,
I'm probably gonna say Pulp Fiction because I
that's
watched
good.
that movie and I don't get tired of it.
yeah, I don't either. Anyway, he continues and he goes.
I've had quite a few when I'm too down with
Actually,
I've
yeah.
had all that nonsense.
Yeah.
Just one that comes to mind off the top of my head is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Meh.
Love that movie,
Nice.
cracks me every time,
Yeah,
and I'm
it's
a
a good
big
book.
big fan of Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah. I'll give
What
you that
about
one.
favorite band?
Oh God, I know me, and he continues to say music is a huge part of his life, and I know it is. He's going into fucking music producing and a bunch of stuff like that, and favorite bands. Oh my God, again, I need time period. I listen to everything from classical to fucking Rat Pack era to stuff before Rat Pack to up through the '60s, legit rap, metal. I'm all over the place. I need something else.
Yeah, I don't really have a set favorite either. Like
These are too vague. These are way
Yeah,
too
they're
vague. For something
way too
personal.
vague. I'm
We,
having
I
vague
take
overload.
these questions to
Yeah,
a personal level.
Yeah, he says I practically bleed musical notation, so I naturally got way too many artists in my library, so I'm not gonna waste it.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
ask us
you
this.
can.
Yeah, and he has the
Okay.
exact same thing I do, so we understand.
What is this?
Anyway,
How
continue.
about absolute favorite game series?
Me, Metal Gear Solid.
AC used to, but no, right now it would have to be Half-Life is number one. Half-Life. And all of the Half-Life worlds, so that includes Portal, in my opinion.
Like, I mean, he's saying absolute, so I'm putting everything together. I'm just gonna say Halo, just a Halo series. I mean, with everything together. If we're saying multiplayer, then single player, then it's Half-Life. But he says absolute with everything together, so it would be
With everything together.
So it would be Halo.
AC actually rivaled. I would have to say Absolute because I also totally dug the multiplayer, but that's only going up through Revelations.
So I believe we did a fucking episode on that. Even
Yeah, we did.
we
did an
detailed
episode.
all our favorite games in detail.
Yeah, we did. We did our top five.
That's one that ran really long too.
Yeah, that was back in the day.
And then he continues favorite style of nipples. Who knows? Talk about yourselves for once.
Favorite style of nipples?
Tiny-
I prefer tinier ones. I don't like large areolas, and I prefer the pink ones on Caucasian women. I don't like them when they're like
Ultra dark,
that
like
weird
on
dingy color.
the ones ultra dark, like especially in Southeast Asian girls.
Yeah,
like, it's
ultra dark
weird.
weirds me out. A chick can have darker ones if it fits her skin. Like Mediterranean chicks tend to, and like so do like chicks that have Hispanic. And
Honestly, I'm not too picky as long as like the boob to nipple diameter is not fucking off the charts. Like
yeah,
it's,
it's, like
like
I
the
cannot
size of
stand
the
those
pepperoni on my
freakishly.
pizza.
Yeah,
Like
it's
fucking pepperoni nipples.
like
Exactly.
that's-
freakishly
yeah,
large
exactly.
areolas. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
those
a
are
huge
weird.
not okay.
Yup. Anyway, he goes, who knows? Talk about yourselves for once. Get selfish. Man.
We're very
Holy
giving
shit! Now
people.
there's a Nirvana playing
Now
on the
there's
live
Nirvana.
stream.
Yep.
But where the fuck are you guys? Anyways, we're watching the fucking
the
conference that
conference.
we watched. I think that was Microsoft.
Props for your taste in music. You had Journey, I believe it was in one of your podcasts 2 weeks ago. I think it was, and I was like, holy shit! I saw them on tour back in 05. Oh man, he goes, well, Bash put on a hell of a show. You know who else puts on a hell of a show for being fucking old? Rush. I saw Rush live, and that was fucking amazing. That was just great. That was their Time Machine tour. Anyway, I love Helix. PS boobs.
Cheers. Yeah.
So that's pretty much all the listener mail, guys. We don't have any other FC news really to talk about except for battle stuff, but we're not going to even go into
You're
that.
missing shoes.
Blue defended Settler, red defended Lotus,
Yeah.
and there you go. That's pretty much it, guys. We're going to go ahead and close this out because
Yes.
we have been working on this for over 12 hours.
Woo!
I have been sitting here doing this. So thanks to everybody for tuning in. Like I said, I'm going to have the edited stuff up. The 2 people that are still with us, I'm going to have these perfected and stored away soon. So thanks for tuning in from everybody here at the FC Podcast team. And, as always, stay classy, FC.
Goodbye.